We're the indie project Bee and Theo, and we've been living and travelling the world in vans for the past 6 years. We're currently renovating an abandoned stone barn in Portugal to turn into a beautiful tiny home for us and our cats Ginjey Bear and Furrnando. Follow our journey from the very beginning as we document the whole process of creating an off-grid home.
Good morning guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on a sunny September's day on our property in Central Portugal. You only have to look around to realise why we decided to buy this place. The birds are chirping, the sun is out, I'm in a t-shirt and I'm already sweating and it's only 10 AM. It's gorgeous and I can't wait to get stuck in with another project. We arrived back on the property a couple of days ago now to a beautiful sunset, but it was the calm before the storm, and in this area of Central Portugal storms like this are very normal for this time of the year, and all you can do is batten down the hatches and just wait for it to pass. So just as I was heading to the bottom of our property, a local shepherd ran over and asked if we could hook him up with a bottle of water and a glass. So we did, but we couldn't really understand what was wrong with his herd or his goat or anything like that. We thought maybe he needed a drink because he was sweating buckets, but actually we've heard the cries of the goat just over the border from our property, and the goat's just lying here. It must be injured, so we're going to wait with the goat and try and give it some more water and maybe some food before the shepherd comes back, because the shepherd's got a huge herd and he needs to take his herd back to his land, which is a long way from here, and he's had to leave this goat behind, unfortunately. So the poor little goat is just hanging out in this little rocky outcrop, and we've just gave it a bowl of water that it just seemed to be drinking out of, but we're not sure what's wrong with it. It definitely can't stand up by the looks of it, and one of its legs is a lot further apart and stretched out from the other, so maybe it's done its leg in. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to Surfshark, who has sponsored today's video. If you don't know what Surfshark is, it's a virtual private network which allows you to stay protected while using public Wi-Fi, overcome location-based price discrimination, and use your favourite sites and services in countries that ban them, as well as many more fantastic features. After coming back to Portugal and spending a number of weeks in the UK, both me and Bee became hooked on a couple of UK TV shows that we just couldn't access over here. By signing into our Surfshark account through any of our devices, we can choose our location as the UK, which then means we can stream the shows that we're obsessed with anywhere in the world. One subscription allows you to install Surfshark on an unlimited number of devices. If you'd like to try out Surfshark and experience their online security as well as keeping your data protected all over the world, then make sure you click the link in our description or use the code TheIndieProjects to get 83% off and 3 months extra free. We decided to leave the goat for a little while. We didn't want to stress it out, but we did leave it with a bowl of water, some food, and we know the shepherd's actually going to be coming back really soon, and we will go and check on it after we've picked some apples, because we noticed, the first thing we noticed when we arrived back on the land is all the fruit. Some of the fruit were a little bit late and some of it's dropped, but the apples are ready, the pears are ready, so that's exactly what we're going to pick, and I can't wait to try one. I've not tried one yet. You have?
Yep.
And you said they were amazing, juicy, proper apples, and it looks like we've got 2 types of different apples, and if we come around here, it's a little bit of a shame, but because we've not picked the apples, this branch has got so heavy that it's actually cracked the branch, and that's going to need chopping off.
There's lots of apples on that one.
We've got all these wonderful juicy apples, so got a bowl, and we're going to make something out of it, maybe an apple crumble of some sort. We have a few different varieties of apples on our land. This tree's been taken over by brambles and also vines as well, so I have to be a little bit careful, but I can see there's some very juicy apples. Look at that hanging right there, and that should just come straight off just like that. It's ready to eat. So we've just spoken to the shepherd again, and we think that the goat may have just twisted his ankle and is in a lot of pain. So he's going to sit with the goat for a little while, keep giving it food and water, see if it recuperates, and if not, we've offered to use our truck to move the goat back to his property. So fingers crossed the goat goes back to full health. But I've just picked the most juicy apple. This is what I dreamed of when I thought about owning land and moving to Portugal and living off grid. It was all about this, just like picking your own food, walking around and just seeing the beautiful landscape that we live in. I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to leave the leaf on it just for rustic measure. I'm not just saying this. That is juicy beyond belief.
Is it the best apple you've ever had?
I think so. It's hard to tell right now, but this is amazing. This is absolutely incredible. Walking through the orange grove, and the oranges are actually doing really well, but I've spotted in the distance, look at this, the prickly pears are crazy. Bee's up there, she's picking normal pears, and normal pears actually ripen off the tree, so we're picking them. But look at this, this is outrageous. So much fruit on this. So if you guys have any ideas of prickly pear recipes that you recommend for us to try, let us know, because we've got an abundance of fruit here. There's actually something really special about prickly pears, and I think one of the reasons is they're really photogenic. They look great on the landscape, but two is the fact that they're so brutal. You can't just pick these straight off the tree. You definitely have to have a device or wear proper gloves, probably like 4 pairs of gloves, so you don't get the spikes in you, and it just makes it harder to actually eat, which makes it, for me anyway, more intriguing, because there's some preparation that actually goes into it. I've just walked back up the land and it's actually really warm today, so I'm just taking a little breather under this big oak tree that creates this lovely shade. And I want to answer a question that a lot of you guys have been asking, because you're really confused on where we're actually going to live, because we left our camper van back in England and we came here just in the car. And to a lot of you guys who may be new here, you might not know that we have some more accommodation on the land, so I'm going to show you that, and we're going to be living in there while we're building out the barn. So it's a little bit messy right now, but as you can see, this is our caravan that we bought 2 years ago, and it's been amazing to have this on the land. It's just really useful. We use it as an office, like a living room really, when we had the camper van here as well. But for now, it's going to be our full-time home. It's actually a really nice space to hang out in. We've got this covered veranda area that I built with a decking, so we can sit out in the sun and be shaded, but also it keeps the rain off the front of the caravan as well. Inside we did a full complete renovation, and we've got videos about that, and we'll make sure that we link them in the description, but I'll overlay some clips right now because Bee did such an amazing job at the interior design, making this caravan like from an old, really outdated, old-fashioned, like quite dingy caravan to a really bright, airy, beautiful space where we actually want to hang out. It's really nice that the land is just as we left it. Nothing has changed, and you can see our outhouse here. We need to get this reinstated. We got a few things that we need to do with the water situation so we can get the shower up and running, because this is our only shower on the land and we want to make sure we get that up and running as soon as possible, otherwise we'll be pretty smelly. So at the moment we haven't got a shower, but in the next couple of days it'll be working again. And my absolute favourite thing on the land is obviously our soon-to-be beautiful stone home. And look how beautiful it looks basking in the sun, and I love how the red roof tiles really pop in this weather, along with the pointing around the stones. I was actually really nervous about going inside the barn and seeing what it was like once we got back on the property, because we left in like a haze of tiredness and just a situation that no one wants to be in, and my memory was kind of wiped about how we'd left it and what it was going to be like inside, and there was just a lot of uncertainty. But as soon as I walked in there, I was just mesmerized. It looks incredible. I'm going to show you right now. So it's obviously extremely messy in here. We got scaffolding, we got all of our tools that we stored in here while we were away, but just having the 3 walls plastered has made this space feel gigantic. It really has. How beautiful has this turned out? The lime plaster has worked a treat, and you can see how it's really opened up the space. And if I jump up on the scaffolding, the rafters are just looking so nice. Now they're all oiled. It really is going to set them off once this plaster is white. That's one of the next jobs to do, as well as pointing this complete wall. So this is going to be a big feature pointed wall, but it's just so nice in here. The light is pouring through the Velux windows, and this mezzanine is going to be our bedroom. We're going to have the ladder, still undecided where the ladder is going to go, but possibly in the middle now after staying in that Airbnb. And then we're going to have a lovely banister along here with our bed in the corner. This is definitely going to be a nice place to live. And just to give you guys an idea of space, where I'm standing right now up on the mezzanine is actually a little bit bigger than the size that we live in our van. So we're going to have so much space in this home. And here's another angle from up on the mezzanine. So our bed's going to be along here somewhere, ladder over here, and then look at that view out onto the feature wall overlooking the whole barn. I can't wait. I'm so stoked. We got our truck back yesterday. It was a long drive to go and retrieve it, but it's here and it's better than ever. It's got a new engine And by new, I don't mean a brand new engine, it's just been replaced like for like. Hopefully not too like for like, because the other one obviously blew up. But this engine, I've driven it probably 3 hours now, and it's purring like a kitten. So yeah, no, it's good to have the truck back, it really is. And we only had it for an hour and I already put it to use, getting 2 IBC tanks from the city and hauling them back here, because we're going to do some more water management, because it's so important to have water in different areas of the land to make our life a little bit easier. The best part about getting the truck fixed and getting a new engine in it is we didn't pay a penny, because it was under warranty. When we bought the vehicle, the guy asked us if we wanted to pay the extra 500 euros for the warranty, and I wasn't sure at first, but being such an old vehicle and getting a warranty on the gearbox and the engine for a year, it's a no-brainer really. I'm glad we did it because it paid off massively. Okay, so that's 1 IBC moved into the correct position behind the caravan. I do need to get some breeze blocks so I can raise it off the ground so we can get a bucket underneath it, and I also need to fit a tap to that IBC as well. They hold 1,000 litres, so once that's full, that's going to be a lot of water for drinking and washing up right next to the caravan. The next one's going down to where the outhouse is. So this second 1,000 litre water tank on the back of the truck, we are going to move all the way to the back of the outhouse like I mentioned before. And the reason for this is going to be our showering water, so it needs to be clean. So we're going to swap it out for the tank that's already there, then give this one a clean out. And this 1,000 litre water tank will actually sit on the back of the truck, and we're going to use that to transfer water around the land. Yes, I'm currently wearing an IBC cover. I'm not sure I'd get away with wearing this in our local village, maybe on the high street in New York for Paris Fashion Week. But basically what this is going to do, I'm going to take it off because it's very hot. This is going to stop any algae growing in our water tanks, which is perfect because this is the water that we're going to shower in, and we actually collect the water from the roof of this cabin, so it's completely sustainable. It's really nice. The water, because it's rainwater, it's really soft, it's nice to shower in, and we've got a gas heated water heater in the outhouse. Just got to figure out how to get this on, but yeah, we've been waiting a while to get hold of some of these. You can just wrap it in black plastic, but I take pride in where I live, so hopefully this will look like a nice little jacket. We now have a big black box, and this hole's a little bit bigger than I imagined. So I'm not sure how much UV needs to get through to create algae, but maybe what we'll do is we'll just get a little bit more material and just tape it to the top of here, and then obviously our drain pipe is going to go straight into the tank. We'll have lovely, fresh, clean water to shower in, because right now I really wish we had the shower up and running, but it won't be long. Next few days and we'll be good. So the next job to get completed today is to completely clean out the chicken coop. It needs a good clean because we're hoping to get our chickens back ASAP. It's going to be so nice having the chickens back on the land, because being here for the last couple of days without them is actually quite bizarre, because you get so used to them running around and their little personalities that they have. It is going to be really nice to have them back. So Bee's just currently cleaning out the nesting boxes, but we need to move all of this muck and sand out, and we're going to replace it all with fresh sand. And I'm pretty sure the chickens are going to really appreciate coming back to a nice clean home. So Bee's done a fabulous job at cleaning out the chicken coop. Very excited to get the chickens back. And a lot of you guys might know that we use sand for the substrate to go on the floor. It's basically because it stays dry on the top, and it's really easy to clean the chickens out constantly. Like every day we go in with a pooper scooper, and just like cat litter, you can sieve the poo and then just bin it. So it's really good. And now we're just using the building sand. All this is left over. It's going to come in useful for some stuff, but we don't need much. Probably 2 wheelbarrows will do the whole chicken coop, and that will last for ages. We've only ever changed that sand once. So remember earlier in the video I said that our shower's not yet set up properly, so we can't use it just yet, but hopefully in a couple of days. It's such a gorgeous evening. We've decided to come down to our favourite place at the lake and go for a swim. It's actually quite shocking, the level of the water. I know I always go on about it, but just look at that. Usually we go swimming just here, right there, and now we have to walk out. I'd say it's probably a good 100 meters out to the shoreline, which is just crazy. But how beautiful is this place? Never gets old, this view. So the last time I went in a really cold body of water was not too long ago in the Scottish Highlands, well, the Scottish Islands, so in the sea off the Isle of Hoy. And I can tell you that was very cold. I'm up to my knees deep now in the water, and actually it's not too bad at all. I can't wait to fully dip in, get washed off and clean, because I got so sweaty today. I think me and Bee achieved a huge amount today for our first day working on the land. How is it?
It's brilliant. This is all I could think about when I was cleaning out the chicken coop, and I'm happy to have got all the coop dust off me now.
You've literally changed the colour of the lake. You're that dirty. This is exactly what I needed. This place is just heaven on earth. It's so cool, but it's not too cold. It's not like shocking to the system. And me and Bee have made a pact with each other that we're gonna come in the lake for a swim once a week, every week throughout the whole year, no matter what the month. So I think December's gonna be pretty chilly. We might be scraping the ice off the car before we come for a swim, but cold swimming, there's just something about it that really invigorates and gets my mind working. It's lovely. I just absolutely love the silence. It's so nice and peaceful. And I'm just looking off camera because there's loads of fish actually jumping out the water, which is pretty crazy. There's some pretty big carp in this lake, which is really cool. I don't fancy getting nibbled by a carp tonight, but I'm going to stay in a little bit longer, wash off the sweat, feel refreshed, and then we're going to head back for a lovely dinner. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this first video back on our property. We got so much more to come. Thanks once again for all of the support and the nice comments, and we'll see you on the next video.